All right. Well, I plan on this being pretty much...
What is this called? What is this one called? Do we have a thing? Did you say a title?
No.
Okay. Perfect.
But I did plan... I was going to say, I did plan on this being...
I think it should just be called... Sorry. I think it should just be called... What is this called?
What is this?
What is this?
A WWTCA pre-show.
There's gonna be like 20 podcasts called "What Is This?" because some fucking white guys thought it was like an edgy name for their podcast. Yeah. What is this? What is life? Let's talk about life. What is this?
I kind of figured it would just basically be like it would just go up as like pre-show, and then like episode, like for example, this one would be episode 67 pre-show. Because this is the pre-show for the episode 67 recording. So I figured that's what we'd probably just do that.
I see what you're saying. Okay.
Well, as a really quick introduction, because this is the first one, I'll say to anyone who may or may not ever listen to this, that I had an idea in our off time that so we always have a running thing.
I love that thought. Just play that back.
We always have a running thing, if you listen to the beginning of our episodes, where we always say like, oh yeah, we planned on just like getting on here and recording and then getting off, because sometimes we actually have life things to do and sometimes we don't want to be on here for 6 hours, but we always pretty consistently end up talking for about 2 hours. And I thought, what if we record that and then make it like a bonus pre-show kind of thing? And essentially that's what this is. And so I don't plan on this being edited whatsoever. This is just going to go up raw.
And also not good. Like we don't plan on this being entertaining at all. This is just like the roughly 90 minutes. And I also don't think
if you care about our boring, like kind of more personal life, just us talking regularly without it being formatted in any way, then that's what this is.
If you just need noise in the background while you're doing something that requires more attention than this is what this is for, I guess.
Yeah.
And
if
also
you have some kind of weirdly specific like court requirement that you have to, like you're being sentenced to listen to audio for so many hours, you can add this to your list and
there you go. Yeah. Also, usually these talks before the actual recording of what was that called again, they can last a really long time. I don't think that these recordings should last that long.
But they might. Hey, they might.
So you are for that? Okay. Well, I was just thinking that like
I kind of thought.
Okay, that's fine.
I kind of had thought that pretty much would start recording almost immediately once we get on here, and this whole thing goes pretty much right up until we're about to start the normal show.
Okay. So this is like the previews and trailers of a theater going experience that they last way too long. No one's interested,
and no one's
and you could have showed up 40 minutes late and still got the regular show. Okay,
yeah,
perfect.
but you know what? That's the beauty. And if anybody's not interested, they can just go to the normal show on Monday, every Monday.
They can.
Yeah, but this is there if.
Or if you're more of a fan of this part of the podcast than the actual part of the podcast,
for some reason,
then please write us at
let us know.
WWTCA@protonmail.com.
Maybe we need to just scrap the whole regular show and then we just do the like weird weekly chat.
we need more of two guys talking about things they barely understand and have no solutions for.
Yeah. Well, you know what?
More of that in the world.
You know what? That's what the internet's all about.
You know what? People have made fortunes and empires off of this concept. Okay, so and also I'm going to go ahead and apologize too. I make a lot of noise. I fidget.
That's all part of the experience.
And I know. But there's going to be a lot of things in the background. Basically, is what I'm saying. But also, one thing I did realize is before I used to always, make my drink for drink time on the pod, and then it would sit here for like sometimes 2 hours.
Oh, yeah. That's right.
And now I'm just going to start drinking. And if I have to refill before the second show, then so be it.
Yeah, that's a little peek behind the curtain. Maybe some people can hear that. Sometimes for drink check, we already have a few drinks prior to.
Sometimes I'm waiting anxiously to take a drink of something that I've mixed. And then 2 hours later, I finally take a sip and it's watered down.
Yeah.
Okay, so you already talked about
I talked about bad eggs and playing
the game Bad
stupid
Eggs.
games and
Old Flash games.
Yeah.
Online Flash.
That's what I've done in my time off, basically.
And how long have we been off? I can't even remember when it was we left.
So
First of the year? No,
you're
February?
loco. March. The We'll Be Back post, right, was March 1st. I looked.
It's only been a month? Oh my gosh.
No.
God,
It feels like it's
so
been
long.
3.
Yeah, it seems like it's been forever. Okay.
In that time,
so you played a lot of old Flash games. Or no, you said you did play or you couldn't play because it doesn't exist anymore.
Bad Eggs has been offline since
they got rid of the Flash stuff like 2 or 3 years ago.
Yeah, like the end of 2023, the end of 2022 or 23, because me and my friends got on there the night that it was going down. Like at midnight that night it was going down, and we were like, we got to get on and play Bad Eggs for one last.
Did it end right at midnight?
Yeah.
Did it just stop working?
I cannot.
Or was
I can't recall that specifically.
Unless you refreshed it, you could keep going.
I want to say unless we refreshed it.
So there's someone.
I could be mistaken.
There could be someone still out there who has just not refreshed their Bad Egg.
In theory,
game who's just still 2.5 years later still playing it.
Probably. Shout out to them if so, because they could just be playing against like the computer generated opponents the whole time.
And it keeps breaking because they can't, like, the Flash can't update anymore. So
yeah, we've gone. I'll tell you, me and Alex have spent hours looking for alternatives to be able to play it. Like we've looked for Flash alternatives to be able to make the game work, and then we were like, but even if we found out one, like, do you think anyone else is doing it? There's not going to be anybody on there. It's Has
no one really brought back those old Flash, like in some weird, like,
I'm sure
emulator
some of them.
Sorts?
We went so far as we found the developers of the game on Steam.
Oh, wow.
Bad Viking, I believe, is their name, because they have another game called like Ornamental Horticulture, some shit like that. And me and Alex had looked up that game because we were like, oh, we like their other game so much, maybe we'll like this one. And it looks fucking stupid. And we basically harassed these guys on their Steam, like on a live stream that they had going on Twitch or something.
Yeah.
We like bombarded their comment section.
You rated it?
Saying like, bring back Bad Eggs. This sucks. We only want Bad Eggs and shit like that. And essentially, I think Alex ended up reaching out to them more directly, and I think
more politely.
I think so. Well, we found out that this stream was just like a loop. It was like a pre-recorded loop. It wasn't even live. But anyway,
so they're always fake.
I think he reached out to them, and they said that they were not planning on bringing that game, because we said, why don't you just put the game on Steam? And because me and Alex were like, we'll buy the game. Well, if you put it up, like, this was a free Flash game online, but we were like, if you put it up for $10, we'll buy it.
Well, they could even put it up for,
they
like,
said they're not going to,
like $2 and still have like the in-game purchases.
Yeah, exactly. And then people could sign back into their accounts and like re-access their previously purchased content that they had in the game or whatever if they wanted to. But yeah, they said they don't plan to, and we're like, there's literally no reason not to, because Alex had also found blogs and shit about this game where people have offered to like pay for the servers, and like there's people that like come together to try to like do this game, like where the creators just have to make it available, and then everybody else takes care of everything else, and they
what they
won't
have
do
to
it.
do they have to just like,
I don't know,
redo some code, or like I don't know any of the stuff behind that at all.
Yeah,
as
I
far
don't
as
either.
like as far as like how difficult or easy would that be, I wonder.
Yeah, that's a good question. I don't know. Maybe evidently it's enough that it's not even worth their time to do, despite people offering to pay for it.
Clearly, yeah. There's probably more Flash games that I've forgotten than I even realize. Because I mean, that was like growing up in school, especially like high school. Like that was like all we did.
Yeah, exactly. That's when we started doing Bad Eggs. It was in like junior or senior year of high school. It became like a phenomenon at the whole school. I think it was junior year, sophomore or junior year. It was one of those two. But anyway,
when did you graduate again?
2015.
God. So yeah, that was that was 6 years after I graduated, and I was doing that 6 years before you. So that shows
Yeah.
you like a whole decade at least.
This was like a whole phenomenon. Like the whole school was on there playing Bad Eggs during school. To
I don't.
the classrooms or the school administrators ended up like blocking the
Oh
website,
yeah,
like every
yeah,
website that could access Bad Eggs.
yeah. They did that a lot.
I think it was the last day of school my sophomore year, and I remember that because this guy that was 2 years older than me, I remembered seeing him. So it was it was the last day of school sophomore year, and Bad Eggs was completely taken away, and it went down. And I remember it was the final period of the day, the last day of school.
Yeah.
And Bad Eggs wouldn't work. And getting on Twitter, and everybody in school was like freaking, Bad Eggs is down. Like they took Bad Eggs. Like the whole school was going crazy.
Riot.
And I remember the bell ringing and walking out into the hallway, and this dude a couple years older than me, Hunter, I'm not going to say his last name despite this probably being as private as possible while technically being public.
Yeah.
He was walking past and I said to him, Bad Eggs is down. And he just turned around and looked at me and flipped me off and then walked away. And I've never seen him since.
You ruined his day. That was it.
Yeah, either so that or it was just one of those things where he was like, I only ever like acknowledge your existence because I had to, because we're both in the same school. And now he was like, I'm graduating now, so I don't fucking need to talk to you anymore.
Fuck you. Yeah.
Which I had that attitude, so I get it.
I don't think I ever played that game. And I also don't think whenever I was in high school,
it was like people were like skipping school to stay home to play Bad Eggs. There was like,
wow, it's called addiction.
Yes.
But I also don't remember there being any. I mean, I'm not saying that there wasn't. I just am saying I don't remember. But I don't think there was any like communal Flash game that the whole school was playing whenever I was in school. There were just websites that had, you know, a bunch of Flash player videos too, and a bunch of like games and stuff, you know, along those lines. And it was just stuff that you did if you had a computer or like a period where you had a computer class or whatever. And it was just stuff you did whenever you were supposed to be doing other things, you know, or if you got done early or whatever, and then you went and found these gaming sites where you could just, you know, like hundreds, like list of hundreds of games. And I don't remember any of them like really sticking out as being like, you know, everyone, not to like your level that you're describing, at least, where, you know, everyone was like, you know, rioting because they took it away or whatever. But I do remember the blockers whenever I was in high school, and I think it might have been like the first time they ever used them, because, and this might even go back to like elementary school actually. The memories are really foggy, but I remember like the weirdest of websites being blocked, because it was like, it was, I don't know how they had it set up, if it was like keywords or like if it was looking for something on the website or whatever, but like Disney, like WaltDisneyWorld.com or whatever, or whatever the actual, like Disney.com or whatever the actual Disney website is or was then, it would get blocked for like adult content. Like it would actually tell you like what was being blocked on the site or whatever. And I do recall like everyone not banding together, but like, you know, it would be the thing that you talked about in like passing period or whatever. But finding different websites that shouldn't be like that everyone knows is a normal like website. You know, and then finding ones that were automatically blocked by the blocker thing, to then try to convince the administration or the teachers or whatever to unblock, like well, we have to go to Wikipedia, or we have to go to, you know, whatever the thing is, right? And then to try to get it turned off, and for just a moment, so we could slip in and play a game or watch a video or whatever. I don't even think anyone was trying to do anything too nefarious as far as that goes.
Of course not.
But I do recall that era of internet safety. I also remember it was at the same timeline whenever all of us, God, this must have been like even like 5th or 6th grade, like that young. which looking back now is troublesome to think about. But I think this was the same time frame that like a lot of us all discovered that whitehouse.com was a porn site. Like, and I don't know who it was. It wasn't me. I just remember finding this out through like. So I guess that was our communal thing. We would find ways around the blocker, and then that would spread, right? Well, anyway, like whitehouse.com was unblocked because it had White House in it, but it was an actual porn site. And then whenever they found out that whitehouse.com was an actual porn site, they had to block White House as a keyword, which then blocked a ton of government-related content because it had the word or the phrase White House, like the actual White House in it. So it would also block those sites. Yeah. But yeah, I do recall whitehouse.com. So I don't know if that site still exists or if it's still up. But I do remember that from like my elementary school, like being like a sixth grader, and everyone being like, "Go to whitehouse.com, go to whitehouse.com," and being like, "Why?" Because you just, at that age, you're still pure enough to be like, "Why? I don't want to go to like the White House's website or whatever, And of course, like that was also the age where like a lot of us were still learning for like the first time, sort of, what the World Wide Web was. And I just recall like some kids going to whitehouse.com, and I want to say it was even like an interracial website. God, I don't know why I have that memory. I have that memory, but I will not be able to recall any film titles.
Right, of course.
But anyway, I remember those days. Gosh, that seems like ages ago. That seems as far long ago as it was the last time we recorded.
Yeah, almost. Yeah, it's been a while. It's been a while. Like I was saying, I freaking was typing up the info for it, and whenever I finished, I just kind of sat there and I was just like scrolling back through my notes, and I was like, do I have everything that I'm supposed to have? I have the writer, I have the director, I have the star. Like, am I missing something?
What's
I don't know
in a movie?
Don't know if I'm missing something.
Quote time. There's quote time.
Have a quote.
There's tag me.
Tag me. I have not forgotten about, but I don't usually make notes of those. I usually just pull them up.
That's right.
From the pages, like as we're going with it.
I did have to remind you to get a drink.
Oh, that's true. That is true. Yeah, which I don't have out yet, but I do have it easily accessible beside me. It's gonna be a real doozy, that drink.
Oh, okay.
A real first timer and probably last timer on that one.
Oh, dang. Okay.
Which makes it sound more like crazy than it actually is, but
it does actually. That you really set it up to be something amazing.
Yeah, it's built up that one.
Yep. I didn't know what to make, so I went for just tried and true.
Spoiler
tried
alert.
And true.
Oh, yeah. The true fans will know what that means.
Yeah. Yeah, it's been a long week.
If you're a fan in Sweden, shout out to our Sweden fan.
Sweden friend.
Swedish fan, rather. Don't know why you've never emailed us, despite us listing our email and begging for someone to email us.
Thomas randomly checks the YouTube page.
Yeah.
2 months.
2 months after this comment.
2 months later, which apparently we were doing this a month ago.
We've been too busy to. We get so many comments and replies and emails that we can't check all.
So
of them.
many. Yeah. So welcome. So yeah,
you know what else is funny? I was scrolling through the YouTube like studio page where it shows you all the analytics and stuff.
Oh yeah.
And I saw that comment, of course.
What the fuck?
But I was looking through. There's numerous videos that we have uploaded, or episodes rather, really. And I think somebody or some people go through and they give them thumbs down sometimes, because there is a
Honestly,
handful.
wouldn't surprise me.
There are like probably 5 or 6 episodes where it says that the like to dislike ratio is at 0% from one vote. And so there are multiple videos that one person has given a thumbs down to, and so they have 0%. There's one of them that's sitting at 50%, so we got one up and one down.
Okay.
And then we had a few episodes that had like 3 thumbs ups.
Oh.
So I don't know what to make of any of this. I don't know.
Is 3 thumbs up 300%? If there's no downs?
No, it's 100%. 100% of the people who have voted up or down give it an up.
Okay, but you said 50% was 2 thumbs up.
No, I did not. I said
I thought you did.
50% was 1 thumb up, 1 thumb down.
Oh, I thought you said 2 thumbs up.
No.
I was like, wait. That doesn't math out.
Yeah, the math ain't mathin'.
I wonder, those have to be like the videos that had like something vaguely sexual in the title.
Like female breasts exposed. We had a few episodes that were like that.
Or but that wasn't in the title. That was just probably in like the transcript for like the captioning.
No, we had a few titles that were like.
We had like
bare naked breast. We had like female masturbation 18-minute version.
No, not as a title. No, we didn't. No, we had one that was like something underwear or something.
Yeah, there
panty.
was like I think one of them is like rear male nudity or something like that. One of them was like there was something with panties, I think, in one of them.
I just wonder if those are the videos where like some 12-year-old was trying to see a butt. It was like, there's no butt here, thumb down.
Or like they were looking at a butt and then it ended and then our video came up automatically.
They're back there jorking their pinkness or whatever the phrase is like, now.
Lean in hand, and they were.
God, I don't want to think about that.
We completely just killed it because they. Hey everybody, what are you drinking, Will?
Okay, let's make it more. It was like some 50-year-old who's just like some 50-year-old at work who's just trying to get around all the work, like his employer's content blockers, and so he's on YouTube searching up like really vague YouTube porn or whatever, where it's like all softcore stuff, and he searched butts that day, and then auto played it in
white girl
in the break
twerks,
room.
20-minute compilation, and then he gets one of our video starts
where it says rear male nudity, and he decides to click on it.
Thumbs down on that shit. What the fuck?
God damn it! Wasting my fucking time. 45 minutes in, and it's still the same image. I'm over here dry stroking. I'm 20 minutes late to get back to my break.
This is just a man working at State Farm or something.
So someone's beating on their bathroom door. I'm over here fast forwarding through rear male nudity episode.
Yeah, we get
it's this
carbonated water, huh?
It is pretty hot though whenever the guy forgets stuff.
Yeah, he has a pause, but then he kind of starts to slowly get back into it again.
Is this a new kink? New kink unlocks when this guy starts to do math out loud and he can't.
Yeah, and he's don't get it. Come on, don't get it. He's like,
yeah, don't you fucking say that title. Don't you fucking say it.
Oh, Thomas, you better tell me he got it wrong. That's right. That's what I want. You know what I want.
0 to 3, 0 to 3. Fucking yeah.
Yeah, the 0 to 3 is where I finish.
Oh God. Oh, by the way, it is allergy season for sure. And I forgot to.
I was reading an article about how this scientists are saying that this is potentially the worst allergy season of all time.
Yes. Well, I mean, I don't know about the science. I can only know anecdotally, but literally the last 2 weeks at most, not even that. I want to say maybe a week and a half. Yeah, I wake up every day and it's just and my eyes itch like crazy. And my dad, let's see, his birthday. When was his birthday compared to now? Almost a month ago, 2 or 3 weeks ago. So we had plans for his birthday. We did something on his birthday. So yeah, that had been 2.5 weeks ago, I think. End of March. 2 weeks ago. Yeah. And everything was sort of fine. And then we had he was too busy the day after his birthday, that Saturday, to also do something that Saturday. So we did dinner on Friday. And then last week, as of now, we were supposed to go do something as like a late birthday, whatever. That ended up... Was it? No, it was 2 weeks ago. I can't remember now. Anyway, that ended up falling through because he was like incapacitated because he has even worse allergies than I do. He was like almost like it was like he had the flu, but it was just like being exhausted from being inflamed and whatever. So we were like, okay, well we'll reschedule that for another time, and then tomorrow, as of this recording, we had plans for tomorrow like months ago. Well, those plans got canceled for us because of the flooding.
All right.
So then I was like, okay, well, since we can't go do that, let's just go do the thing that we were going to go do for your birthday. And he was like, fine, that sounds great. Well, then today he calls me in the morning, this morning, and he's like, I can't do tomorrow. he's like, my allergies are fucking back. So I was like, okay, well, do you want to just go eat then? Like, just want to. He's like, sure, that's fine. So yeah, he's been wiped out. I guess I haven't been that bad, but I definitely this morning I forgot to take my allergy medicine. This was like a Zyrtec, but geez, I can tell. So I just took one before coming on here, and it hasn't kicked in yet. It's not immediate.
I'm glad I don't really get allergy issues.
Yeah, I don't know what life is like. I don't remember. It's not like I've had allergies all my life either. I can remember when I got allergies. I just don't remember what it was like before that. I wish I miss whatever it is that I don't remember.
Yeah. I can say it's pretty good.
But it was I was 17, I think, whenever I got allergies for the first time ever. And it was all at once. I went from zero allergy to like everything allergy. And it was because I think I've told you this story, like the story of me being hospitalized for like poison ivy and poison sumac.
Doesn't ring any bells.
Oh, well, really? Okay, so
No, it doesn't.
So one winter, it was Christmas break, winter break, and it was a very mild winter. Like it was like 50, like all break, at least 50 degrees. And I lived somewhere outside of town with my mom, and like part of the property had a creek that ran through it, and there was like an embankment to get down to the creek that was kind of like wooded or like, densely vegetated, I guess, if that's the word. A lot of vines and shrubbery and that kind of thing, but also trees, right? Well, in the winter, of course, it's all dormant or dead. So I decided to spend my Christmas break like making a stepped pathway down that embankment, and then I cleared out a big area like on the embankment next to the creek to have like a place for like a campfire or like like a little like seating area just to hang, right? Just because once the stuff started to grow and fill in, it was fairly like secluded feeling, right? It was a nice little creek, little stream. So anyway, wintertime, I'm pretty sure I still had like a hoodie on probably and pants, and then I had gloves, of course, because I was chopping down stuff to make this path and digging stairs into this like clay like embankment or whatever, cutting whatever was in the way out of the way, throwing it and tossing it in. We had like a burn pile, so we would burn the debris. And I did this for like 3 days. And on the third day, and I'm wearing the same clothes every day, just because they were getting very dirty, and I figured there's no reason to dirty up multiple pairs of clothes just to go outside and do the same thing every day. So I'm wearing the same clothes for all this. Excuse me, and covered in everything that I'm chopping down. So on the third day, I noticed a rash growing on my arm. And I've had poison ivy before. And, it always starts like a little rash and it gets itchy, and then you start to scratch it and it weeps, and then it spreads, and yeah, okay. So I kind of wondered if that was what it was. But again, there are no leaves at all out there in this area. It's just all like sticks and vine without any like green. So you can't tell one plant, or at least I couldn't at the time, couldn't tell one plant from another. So I just figured maybe I got into something, whatever. kept going at it. Day 4, the rash is definitely spread. It is definitely some kind of itchy poison vegetation rash, and it is growing fast. And I think I put some kind of topical medication on it, and went back at it for the 4th day, digging, trying to finish this project up. Day 5. So now my whole arm is covered, plus the side of my body where my arm touches, plus it's like going up my neck, and then I think it was on my right arm, because wherever my left arm, my left hand had like scratched an itch and then touched anywhere else on my body, I was also starting to get a rash there. So I was like full blown like, oh fuck, right? And I've gone to like get like the steroid shot in the butt, to get rid of it before, because I used to get it a lot as a kid. But I didn't really want to do that this time, so I figured I'm just gonna treat it at home. So my mom took me to get some like lotions for it, and to get like a bath, like a medicated bath to kind of soak in. It was supposed to help dry up, the rash and whatever, right? So I do all that. I draw myself a nice hot bath, and I sit there and I soak in this medicated whatever it was. It was really nice and soothing, right? Get out, and the bath was super hot. It felt really nice. Get out, dry off, do that. Put some of that medicated lotion on, the topical stuff that's more, I guess, effective or supposedly effective than what I already had. And then I go to bed. And then I wake up on the 6th day, and my body is almost completely covered, head to toe. Like I am red, and everything itches. Fast forward, I found out later on that I didn't just have poison ivy. I had also had poison sumac, which I guess I had never had before. And apparently poison sumac, from what I understood, one of the best ways that it spreads is with heat. Mm-hmm. So the oils leach off of you, like if you sweat or whatever, your body heat, and then they go, wherever else you touch. So you don't have to scratch it open like you do poison ivy, right? So I was covered in poison sumac oil from wearing these clothes for 5 days and being out there for 5 days, and then I went and sat in a soup of my own poison sumac oil, superheated in a bathtub for like an hour, and then got out. So I'm, like I said, literally from the neck down, I am swollen and red, and just everything itches, and everything. Yes. So then so that was like the first week of vacation or Christmas break.
That's
I think we had like 2.5 weeks there. Yeah.
Yeah.
The second week consists of me in misery, just trying to like allow the topical lotions to do their job. And then again, I hadn't found out yet that I had sumac. I think I ended up taking another of those hot baths, where I just was like in, my own hot sumac soup, basically. But I also had poison ivy as well, or poison oak, one of the two other ones. But anyway, so I had the blisters associated with that, plus the whole. So sumac didn't blister up like the ivy does, with like the actual blisters. Uh-huh. It's like it's like an actual like rash, like. Just like a red inflamed,
swollen, like red skin,
but everything itches, right? Whereas like the ivy, it's that plus like the little like blisters,
pustules.
Yeah. And those end up breaking open, right? So anyway, it's all over the place. It's getting on my face now, like near my eyes and my mouth. Like I'm just fucking in agony for almost a whole week. And I remember we had to return, and this actually, because I ended up missing like 2 weeks of school. One of those weeks I was in the hospital, but we haven't gotten there yet. So this is right at the end of break, I think. And I remember that we had to go return movies to Family Video that we had rented. And I stayed in the car because moving was just not comfortable. And I think I was like even in shorts too. But I distinctly remember scratching behind my knee. Behind like both knees at the same time. Just like scratching, like it just felt, it was like orgasmic almost. It was that much relief of like, oh my God, this, and you couldn't stop type thing, right? To the point that by the time that we got back home, I had scratched the whole way. So we're talking about like 20, 30 minutes straight, nonstop scratching. And I got home and I had bruised myself behind the knee from scratching. Like I had scratched that hard, it was turning purple from me bruised. Like it was just that intense. So that's whenever we figured out that okay, this is this is serious. The next day, this is, I don't know what day that was, so I don't know what day I'm on now, but this is like week 2 now. The first week, I just tried to like ignore it and let over-the-counter medication do its job. Second week, it gets really intense. So it was like Monday, and we were supposed to be back in school, or we were back in school. I wasn't. I stayed home. And I was at my grandmother's house, and I was freezing because I didn't realize that I had a fever, because essentially I had an infection. It was in my blood at that time, and I just didn't know it yet. But I had a high fever, and I didn't realize I had a high fever. I was just cold. So grandmother being grandmother, she says, here's a blanket, and here's a heating pad. So let's rewind the tape and remember the part where I said sumac spreads with heat. So put a heating pad on me. And also I had a fever too. I didn't realize I had a high fever. Put a heating pad on me, and I think it was like 10 minutes. I am burning up, and my heart is pounding, and I just feel weak. And I literally throw everything off, and my whole body's on fire. And I go into the bathroom, turn the shower on, strip my clothes, and get into the shower. That's mistake number 2. Because essentially I was very hot, and I put less than body temperature water on me immediately from head to toe. I basically shocked myself. And it actually did feel like I was being electrocuted. Like it was like an intense, like wave, pulsating wave of just the most painful experience possible from head to toe, as my nervous system was just going through shock, basically. So then I started to scream very loudly.
Oh.
Yes, because it was fucking painful. I said, I have been electrocuted. Well, not electrocuted. I've been shocked before, not shocked to death, but I've been shocked before with outlet power, right?
Yeah.
It was close to that, where like it was just this really intense. So I got out of the bathtub, or out of the shower, screaming. I started crying because I was in so much pain. That's whenever we finally decided, okay, let's go to the emergency room.
Will might have a problem.
We might have to have a professional take care of this. Yeah. So that's what we did. We went to the emergency room. And again, I'm still like, did you ever buy those big red hot dogs?
Yeah.
Okay. That's what I look like. I was super swollen, like everything. And I was just beet red.
Super swole.
Yeah, and super red. And and it's like, imagine like severe sunburn red. That's the color, right? Okay. So we get to the emergency room, and the receptionist sees me, and she's instantly like, "Oh God, this looks bad." So they take me back, and the admitting nurse in the emergency room is trying her best to like take blood samples, and she can't find any of the veins in my arm because I'm that swollen and puffy. So they finally find one, and they take as much blood as they can, and then they go ahead and say, okay, we're going to go ahead and start an IV on you, and send you up to a room. So they finally found a vein in like my forearm to put a tap in for the IV. And she was so nervous that she was going to go through the vein, right?
Oh, yeah.
Like, and the other side, right? You want to be in the vein. So she did the best that she could, and then they sent me upstairs. Fast forward, they finally figure out, they go, okay, well, clearly you have, you're having an allergic reaction to, poison ivy or sumac or whatever. We're still waiting on blood results, but it's very likely that it's in your blood. Like, there's just no way that you're having this reaction and it's only, surface level type thing. So, and
like, basically, son, you got about 48 hours left.
Basically, you are poison ivy now. You are part of the Batman universe.
They come back in the next day, and you're just a pile of leaves in the bed.
Just leaves.
Nobody can touch you.
Oh God, that's how it spreads.
Seal off another room.
Man, what if that was like a tangent here? Like, what if that was like in some weird fantasy world, like every bit of poison ivy that's out there is just someone who died of poison ivy, and we just don't know it.
Yeah, it's a little bit like that creep show segment with Stephen King, where he touches the meteorite, and then he turns into like the plant. He like becomes like this plant beast in his house. Yeah,
yes. Only it's poison ivy.
Yeah.
Okay, so
or in that Annihilation, there's that whole part where they turn into the plants, and then like you realize that all of those figures out there were people.
All of them? That's an awesome moment too, by the way. That's a good movie. Okay, so this is now Monday night of week 2 of first Monday of me being in the hospital. They had to bring in a big time doctor. Like, nurses couldn't figure this. Like, this was above nurses, which is rare because nurses are amazing and they can do everything. So they bring in like an actual doctor, and he's like, this is insane. I'm gonna put you on stuff that I have to have.
Oh my God!
Basically, he came in and was like, oh my God. He just vomits immediately. Oh God!
Bucket.
I dreaded this day in medical school. No. He came in. He was very nice, but he was also very much like, this is serious. This isn't just like you itch. Like the itching part of what's going on right now that should have been addressed a week and a half ago, by the way. The itching part is like the least of my worries right now. He said, like, your organs and like your blood are important, and we need to protect those because you have basically a blood infection or close to. So, and I was like, oh, great. Oh, crazy. Because he said he was like, there's so much histamine in your system fighting this allergic reaction that the rest of your bodily functions could start shutting down, like kidneys being first, then liver and all that kind of stuff, right?
So I don't know if I'm jumping the gun or if they even said anything at all, but do you know how close you would have been from like needing a transfusion or something like that?
They didn't say. I don't know if I was that close, but it got, so here's how serious it was. He came in that night and was like, okay, this is serious, and I'm going to put you on stuff that I've never, a level of stuff that I've never put anyone else on before. And I need you to understand the risk here. And all it was steroids. He's like, I've never put anyone on this much steroids at once. So we're going to have to closely monitor you. And then we're going to have to take you off of these steroids super slow.
Basically, son, we're going to hope for the best.
Yeah, basically. And then he also said, so I'm going to do that. It's going to be a super high dose of steroids, the highest that I can comfortably do, and for as long as I can comfortably do them. And then, like I said, have some kind of regimen that, takes you down, of course. And then he said, also, I'm going to put you on liquid Benadryl. And liquid Benadryl is not uncommon by any means, But he did explain to me that you will feel liquid Benadryl going through your veins. It burns. And he was right. It wasn't like a intense burn. It was like a very warm sensation that I could feel coursing through my body from the import on my arm, through my heart, and then spreading out. It was very weird.
And is that the medication attacking the infection essentially, or is that just because of the liquid itself? Like that's just how it feels.
I think it's just like the liquid. I don't think I'm actually feeling the attack
like
or whatever. I don't think it's that. I think it's just the carrier or the liquid itself. I mean, it could, I guess, be it taking the histamine out of my system.
That's what I was wondering, if it was like reacting to
that I don't know. I just assumed it was just like the liquid components itself. Probably. Because the bag wasn't warm, and I don't believe that your blood vessels even have like a nerve ending. Mm-hmm. So why I even felt anything, I don't know. But I definitely did feel like it going up my arm. It was, like I said, it was very subtle. It wasn't like I could like trace every single vein in my body. I could just feel the warmth, and I felt it hit my heart, and then I felt my chest get warm. Yeah, exactly. Mm-hmm. And then I could feel it like dissipate as it went up elsewhere. But it was mainly my arm and my chest. That's where I could feel it the most. So anyway, that was night one. Oh, by the way, I had the ER ID bracelet on my left arm, the same arm that the nurse put the port in for the IV. Mm-hmm. And through that port, they were doing both the Benadryl and the steroid. They just had to switch out and go back and forth, because basically he was really kind of nervous about the amount of steroid that he was giving me for my age, being 17. Now,
telling your parents, like, this is an almost irresponsible amount of steroids I'm going to put into your child.
yeah, exactly. I mean, I was 17.
Legally, I can't put any more.
But I wasn't a small kid. I was probably the same size I am now, actually.
Right.
But so it wasn't like he was saying like this has never been done before in medical history. He was just saying he as a doctor specifically,
your son is going to be in medical books.
Has never had to put this much steroid at once into anyone. That he's had to do. That's all he was saying. Again, not some like outlier of medical science here. No. He's never put steroids in anyone, so maybe any amount could have been the most.
It was his first day.
It's his first time putting steroids in anyone ever. He's just like here's 0.2 micro doses, and this is the most I've ever done.
I've never put this much in anyone ever. Just so you guys know.
It's just a factual statement, but I took it as like, holy shit, this is intense.
Nurses always do it. I personally have never administered steroids.
That would be hilarious. He seemed sincere that it was a dangerous amount. So anyway, Tuesday morning. Oh, the ID bracelets. The ID bracelets on my same arm, and it was already tight because I was swollen. But they told me that the steroid should act very fast. Your swelling should come down within like 6 hours because of how much steroids I'm putting in. This is just to like keep your airways from closing. This is, to help fight this inflammation internally that you have going on. This is to, but it'll work very fast. It's gonna take you from what the extreme you're at right now down to basically normal within 6 hours. So in the morning, you'll definitely at least feel, because I had a hard time like closing my fingers. I was fucking like a balloon. I was really, swollen up. So Tuesday morning comes, and they're doing blood tests every like 2 hours. So every fucking 2 hours, somebody has to come in and like take blood out of the same fucking port. And so that always wakes me up. So I didn't sleep very well. So Tuesday morning comes around, and they're doing like another bag of Benadryl. Mm-hmm. And everything seems normal. The day goes on. I'm not itching as much. They put me on some kind of like slight sedative too, I think, at first. But anyway, things, I definitely feel a lot better than I did the day before. But they had to monitor me the whole week, essentially, purely for the steroids. Like they didn't want me to leave the hospital before basically the end of the week just because of the steroids. Because it was that high of a dose. And they were like, they were basically saying that like, we can't just send you home with like a pack to like dwindle you. You know, like sometimes you get those, what do they call, like Z-packs or whatever, where you take like, 7 the first day, 6 the next day, 5, even that was like so many 100 steps lower than what, than what I was at. So, most of my time in the hospital was just them stepping down the steroids. That was it. So Tuesday felt okay. And then Tuesday night came and they're doing another bag of Benadryl because I'm still very much, inflamed. There's still inflammation in me, and on me. I asked I asked my mom first. I was like, can we have them move the ID bracelet to my other arm, my other wrist? This one's just, or can we even have them like loosen it up? This one's tight. And my mom asked the nurse. The nurse came in and was like, well, we usually don't do that because once we print one, like that's just the one you have. Like we'll have to go, and go through the whole steps of printing and, entering all this information and all that kind of stuff. But I'll see what I can do type thing. And they even like thought about cutting it and then like safety pinning it together. Because even the nurse agreed that it was kind of tight. Or at least, annoying tight, right? So she puts in another bag of Benadryl, and I feel the warmth, but it's not as prominent as it has been. And I just think maybe it must be working, or maybe I'm getting used to it.
I don't like the way you're setting this.
Yeah, exactly. Wednesday morning, sometime really early in the morning for the blood draw, the nurse comes in. I wake up, and it wasn't like she was waking me up to take the blood. She just had to get to my arm. So she had to move that, and that woke me up. She comes in to do the blood, and I'm like, I go, did we ever find out anything about that ID bracelet? This one's very tight, and it was more tight than it had been. And she was like, oh yeah. Let me go check. So she goes and checks that. She comes in. They decide to just cut it, and whenever she goes to try to like slip the scissors in, like the safety scissors, so there was no like risk of cutting me. Yeah. The safety scissors, and she was like, "Oh God, this is really tight." Like it was like you could almost see the impression in my skin. That's how much tight it was, and I'm no longer red, so the steroids are working. The rest of me is pretty much back to my normal size. I've deflated, except for this arm, and this band is now very tight on my arm. So she cuts it off, and they ended up putting it on my other arm, I think, with the safety pin. But anyway, she goes and says, okay, I'm going to draw your blood. And they're using the same port that they had the Benadryl and the steroids in. They just cleaned it out and then drew the blood. So she goes to draw the blood, take the blood vial, and what comes out is a pinkish clear liquid. And she goes, oh God. Literally says, oh God. And I go, what? And she goes, it's not supposed to be that color. And I go, what do you mean? And she says, I'll be right back. So she comes back, and there's another nurse with her and like an attendant or whatever. So there's like three of them in there now, and they're like grabbing my arm and feeling it and like moving it around, and it's fucking like it looked like I had like smuggled 2 softballs in my forearm at this point in time. And I've never had like muscular forearms at all, let alone this big.
Do you remember having any thought of like, am I about to have my arm amputated? Like, no. Are they going to have to take it?
No, I didn't go that far. But they told me right away. They were like, okay, what we think happened is that at some point in time, the IV port, punctured through the other side of your vein. Because again, that initial nurse had such a hard time finding it. It was lucky that she did. And they were like, we think it went through the other side. And basically, we've been pumping your arm cavity full of Benadryl for the past day and a half. So I had two of those big bags of Benadryl, plus I think half a bag of steroid, just in my arm. Just not even like anywhere else in my body, but just in the tissue of my arm. and it had inflated my arm so much that my fucking ID bracelet was like cutting off circulation. So they ended up tapping my, because they couldn't find any veins in that arm now, because I was a fucking inflatable. So they had to go to my other arm, and they found another vein, and they did it there. And they finished off the regimen of steroids and Benadryl in that arm and hand, and it hurt more. They did the top of my hand, and the Benadryl burned more there than it ever did in my forearm. I could feel it go all the way up my arm. It was actually kind of a painful burn at that time. Anyway, so I spent the next several days coming off of the steroids. I still had my arm. My arm was still a balloon on the left side, but the rest of me is fine. I'm clearing up. I'm feeling better. My blood results are coming back. They're getting better and better every single day. And essentially, they ended up discharging me Saturday morning, saying, "Okay, we've brought you down from this super high amount of steroids. We've brought you down incredibly fast, but you're now down to a level to where you can finish coming down at home." Right? And again, those packets are like 7 the first day, 6, and then 5, and right? You're like taking off small amounts every single time. They basically dropped me a whole pack every day. Mm-hmm. So I went skyrocket high on steroids and then dropped big steps every day just to come down to like that take-home pack, right? And the doctor was very adamant. He's like, you have to take this, you have to follow it to a T, and you have to complete it. You cannot just not take it. Okay, whatever, sure. So, go home, I'm all better, I'm itch-free, I'm fine, arm is still a balloon. About a week later, I'm most of the way through my little steroid pack, the drop-down dosage. I don't think I've gone back to school. I don't know if I've gone back to school at this point or not. I might have. But anyway, I remember that my brother said something. I don't even know what it was that he said. My brother said something, and I almost murdered him. I just fucking raged immediately. I attribute that to like literal roid rage, where I just fucking flipped out for no reason, and I literally wanted to kill the kid, and I can't even remember like what it was that triggered me. So steroids are real. Fast forward a bit, it is now probably February or March. My arm is still inflated. That was the first time. So 3 months later was the first time I realized I had allergies. And I was playing with my dog at the time, and my face began to immediately itch. And I didn't really connect the two until like the next day I played with him, and my face itched. And then the next day, the face itched. And then I started mowing a yard, and my nose, my eyes watered. So something about having your blood triggered by that many like whatever histamine, whatever reaction from the poison, and or that much steroids, just made my immune system suddenly go, you're allergic to everything, and we're going to sneeze and cough and itchy watery eyes all year round. Congratulations. So yeah, that was, I was 17, and it was because of poison ivy. Oh, and by the way, it took 6 months for my arm to go down to normal size.
Yeah, I wondered where the conclusion to that was. It just like over time slowly just like dissolved
just slowly
or something.
Absorbed. Yeah. And it was ridiculous. Because like I said, it looked like I had it looked like I was Popeye the Sailor Man forearm on my left arm, and then normal like cancer arm from size on my right arm. for many months. Yeah. And it felt really weird too. I could feel the liquid sloshing around. That was the worst part. It was kind of gross. Like that. So that's my long ass story about having poison everywhere and nearly, I guess, dying from it.
And the lesson to learn is like, don't ever go into the woods.
Yeah, that it's more dangerous than bears or or at least really the lesson is don't take a bath.
Yeah, I think that's a good lesson to take away.
Because I was fine until I did that.
I don't have any crazy or a story that's as equally crazy as that, but I have had two pretty severe allergic reactions in my life.
I've allergic to things?
Something.
Oh,
no idea what.
You don't know? Oh, wow, that's even worse.
There's something. So I have had poison ivy and poison oak. I know that. Mm-hmm. I've had those before whenever I was a kid.
Yeah.
But there was another.
We all had that, yeah.
There was a time separately from that. I probably had to have been maybe 12-ish, maybe around there somewhere. And I was at my grandparents' house with my cousin, and my cousin and I were in the woods across from my grandparents' house, or right beside my grandparents' house, rather. And I must have, whatever it was, had to have come from there, because it was shortly after that.
Right.
I got this like horrible allergic reaction where I had this rash similar to what you were saying. It wasn't like bubbly, like pustules, like full of disgusting oily stuff. It was just like the inflamed skin rashes, but they were very itchy.
Yeah.
And I realized that, and so I was not scratching it or anything like that. And then the next day, my whole face was completely swollen.
Yeah.
Like my eyes were swollen shut. I could like if I tried to open my eyes as wide as I can, I could get like a little bit open where I could see. And I remember looking in the mirror and being like, holy fuck. And my mom took me to like a emergency clinic, or an emergency room rather, and same kind of thing. I got like steroids and whatever, and they were just like, yeah, you have an allergic reaction.
Congrats.
But I never got like any conclusion on
sumac
what it was.
Because like I was swollen to the point where like, I mean, I didn't mention this, but like it was on my face. Like I said, it was everywhere. Everywhere. But yeah, my eyes were also to the point where like I had a hard time opening them and keeping, it took energy and effort to open my eyes and keep them open.
Yeah, and so I had never had that happen before, and it finally cleared up, and then it was probably a couple of years later, it happened again. I remember my eyes, it was the night before, and I remember my eyes were very itchy, and I kept like rubbing my eyes.
Yeah.
But there was nothing else that was like itchy or anything else wrong, but I kept like rubbing my eyes, and I woke up the next morning and my eyes were swollen, and I remember thinking like, oh man, I like rubbed my eyes so much that they like got swollen.
Oh, yeah, okay.
That's what I thought.
Right.
And I looked in the mirror and I was like, oh, it's the same thing. And then we ended up going back and steroid the whole thing.
It's crazy that there's plants out there that like you just touch them and they're fucking like
yeah.
I mean, it's great that they don't kill you. That it's just like that level of like irritation. Which is bad enough.
Yeah, I to this day have no idea what caused it. I have been in those same woods. I think I had been in them one other time since then, and nothing had ever happened. There was just I had no idea whatever it was.
Well, like
my body said no.
I've gotten poison ivy since that big incident, and it hasn't ever taken over like it did. So mine was purely because I fucking took a hot ass bath and soaked in it for a couple days, but also because I didn't do anything for a week. So now, as soon as I get, which it's rare. One, because I don't go outside, but two, I'm also really careful about what I touch whenever I am outside now. But I have gotten it a couple times, and my go-to now for treatment is what my dad used to do, which I never did as a kid. His home remedy, which sounds fucked up, and it is as soon as he gets a poison ivy rash from like mowing or whatever, as soon as it starts to like form and gets like to like the weepy stage, which usually takes only like a day, it doesn't take long. He will go to the kitchen. He will grab a bottle of bleach and a scouring pad or steel wool, one of the two. He will scrape that area as hard as he can physically take it, basically breaking open the skin as much as possible without there being blood, but just breaking open the rash. Run it under super fucking hot tap water, like steaming tap water, right? As long as it can. Essentially just to clean it and then open it up, open up the pores as much as possible and get the oil out of there with the heat. And then he pours bleach straight on it. Just fucking pours bleach on it. And the bleach basically dries it out and kills it. And within a day, it's gone. And so now, again, as fucked up as that medical advice is, I do
medically
that,
speaking, you should.
I do that anytime I get it now, and it's literally gone within a day. And basically, it's just one of those things where like I've tried, like the calamine lotion, and I've tried. There's even like medicated topical creams now that claim to take the oil out of your skin or whatever, and I'm sure that they work. Don't get me wrong. And they probably do work if you have the patience for them. But because of my traumatic experience, I don't even give it a fucking chance anymore. I just go straight to like, we're fucking getting rid of this. I'm going to burn my arm and then put bleach on it for a minute and be done.
The last time I remember having anything like that, I had the little itchy bubbles pop up. And I remember what I did somewhat similar, I guess, is I remember being in the shower, and I would like almost like a pimple. I would grab those little pustules and I would pop them, and then I would grab the bar of soap and I would just scrub that.
Like, fuck, yeah, exactly.
I would almost kind of like scratch the itch with the soap, kind of,
Mm-hmm.
and I would just keep going, and it would sting.
Yep.
And I would just keep doing it, and I did that for like minutes and minutes under the hot water. I would just stand there and I would do that. And then it would go away.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, because the idea is that the oils are still inside of that liquid that comes out, and that's how it spreads. And if you don't get rid of that, you'll just never, And like I said, that one experience, I was wearing the same clothes multiple days in a row, so that stuff was just weeping into the clothes. And then I was going to bed, and it was just in my sheets and stuff. Even though I had showered or whatever, it was still on me technically because it's hard to get off. And for days, I just kind of bathed in it and, wore it on me. And then also got more on me when I was out there every single day. So it was insane. Yeah. This is the most amount of steroids. This is my first time putting steroids in anybody. This is also the most amount I've ever put in anybody. Yeah.
Medically speaking, I don't know if your son is going to survive this treatment, but he's going to die if we don't do this. But I'm also not
a doctor, so I just don't know.
Yeah, he's just like one of those things where a guy snuck in and found a closet with like a doctor's outfit in it and a stethoscope.
But yeah, so like I said, the biggest fallout of that experience, I don't know if it's the steroids or if it was just the fact of my blood and my immune system being triggered by so many allergens or whatever they're called, the histamines. But now I just have allergies, and I just have them all the time. And and it sucks. I don't remember what it was like before, not because I used to, as a kid, like from age 8 onward, I used to mow yards every summer, and I never had a problem with grass or whatever. I've always had dogs as a kid, never had a problem. My family members have smoked, and I've never had a problem. And then literally, almost night and day, all of that shit was just enough to make me miserable for the rest of my life. And now I think, too, I think I have an allergy, or I've developed an allergy to, I always forget which one it is. Is it Tylenol or ibuprofen? One of the two. Are those the same thing? Anyway, it's one of those pain medicines that I take it, and within minutes, like within 10 minutes of me taking it, I start to get very short of breath. My heart rate goes up, and I just can't get comfortable. I feel very tense, and like I almost am having like an asthma attack or whatever. And it does not go away for hours. It just stays with me until like the medication subsides or whatever. But so I've definitely stopped taking whatever that one is, and I can't recall the name, but I have just stopped buying it. I can take the other one, Aleve or one. Like there's one that's an NSAID. There's one that's an NSAID, like ibuprofen, and then whatever the other one is, I can take the other one, but the NSAID I stay away from now, and I don't even take it. Yeah, so that sucks, because the first time I found that out, I thought I was going to die, because I was in bed and I took 2 extra strength because I was really in pain from work. and I went to bed, and I spent the next fucking 4 hours like,
oh God, this is it.
Yeah, no, literally, and I was just like, I probably should have gone to the hospital, but yeah, I was really uncomfortable, and I just thought I was just, well, weirdly enough, it was right at the start of COVID, and I thought, oh fuck, am I just coming down with COVID? I didn't have COVID because it went away like the next morning. It was just that, and so, but I also didn't connect the two, and then I took the same pain pills again several weeks later, or however long it was, and I had the same reaction, and I was like, I think it's this. I think it's this thing that I've never had a reaction to. I've suddenly have developed a reaction to. So yeah, good times. Good times as you get older and your body just changes suddenly.
Yeah, it sounds like it's real fun.
Yeah, don't get old, folks.
Yeah, don't get old. Don't let your body change,
and don't go in the woods.
Pretty simple stuff. Yeah, that's very unpleasant. One time whenever I was in, I think like 5th grade or something, I'd gotten very severely sick, and I was really struggling to breathe, and it was like definitely my airways were constricted, or my lungs were messed up.
Did you have,
and
have
it was
like a
like
cold or something?
Like I was breathing like that.
Like bronchitis almost, or
went to the emergency room, and I had strep throat, bronchitis, and pneumonia.
I had pneumonia too as a 5th grader. Look at that.
There we go.
I had double pneumonia. Both lungs.
I had all 3 of those at the same time, and I think that was that might have been the first time I ever had to get an IV put in. And I remember them getting the vein, and I'm not into needles.
Yeah.
And so
You're
I always
into
get
needles. You're not
into
needles
the
like,
needle
like
game.
the rest of us.
So I got like the sting of feeling the needle go into my vein, and I wasn't watching it, and I could just feel like the needle slide into my vein from inside my vein, and I was just like,
just the feel of it, huh?
I was just like, oh my God. And I remember my mom and the nurse who was doing this said that I was like as white as like the fucking sheet.
Cold as
and she was like, the nurse was like, do you want me to get you some water or something? And I was like, yes. And did some water, and then everything kind of just like slowly came back to normal. And it fucking sucked.
I did that once. Okay, so here's my experience. This is before, so I also had pneumonia in like 5th grade, I think. I had it for like, I think 2 or 3 weeks. I could only sleep in a recliner, because if I laid down all the fluid, I would choke. I ended up losing 40 pounds because I didn't eat anything the whole time either. It was a great weight loss plan. But I think this is a different instance that you reminded me of. But it was the first time that I found out that I have a thing with needles. So with all the gore I'm into and I've literally seen in person my sister immediately after traumatic brain surgery. That didn't bother me. I have seen my grandmother split open from her throat down to her belly button, like butterflied open. I've seen it all as they changed her wounds. Didn't bother me. I watched 2 microseconds of blood leaving my own body through a needle. I start to black out. So the first time I found this out, and I don't know what it is. I don't know why. Now, unlike you, I can look away and I'm just fine. But if I think about it too much, or if I look at it and watch it, it doesn't like. It's not the pain part of it. I don't mind being stuck with a needle. It's literally just some kind of weird thought that I have.
That's what it is for me too. Yeah. I have I give myself a miniature like panic attack. It's same whenever I get shots. Whenever I get shots too, not all the time, but sometimes when I get shots, I just will obsessively think about this needle like piercing, like that's going so into my body, and then feeling like the fluid like leave the needle into my arm.
Yeah,
there's something I'll just like psychologically like freak myself out for me, for some reason.
It has to specifically be blood leaving me. and I've even cut my thumb fairly severely. The pain didn't bother me. I was able-bodied enough to wrap it up, wash it off, wash it off first, then wrap it up, and then go get a Band-Aid. But then as soon as I started to put the Band-Aid on, I had to like look at where the wound was to wrap it or whatever, and that's what caused it. But so anyway, the first time that I found this out, I can't remember how young I was, but I had to go get like a random blood draw for something at like the clinic, right? It wasn't like an emergency situation or anything. And I remember going to the clinic, them doing that. I remember watching the whole thing, I guess. I don't remember in that moment feeling any sort of weird, but I stood up after they were done to walk back out into like the waiting room outside of the lab or whatever. And I remember taking 2 steps, and then I remember waking up in a hospital bed. And I don't remember how much time was between the 2 steps, and apparently I fell down, collapsed, and they had to pick me up, wheelchair me, and put me into a hospital bed. But I have lost time somewhere in my life for however long because of that. Can you
remember the tunnel vision or anything like that?
Yes. So specifically, I do recall everything going black, but I was still walking like normal. So it goes black. You hear like the and then hospital bed, like however long later.
Yeah, I've passed out before, and I remember the tunnel, like just black tunnel vision. Yeah. That's literally like it's just closing in.
Yeah.
And then I remember sound, like it was like as if somebody has a volume setting and that's slowly lowering.
Yeah. Yep. Exactly.
It's fucked up. It's very disturbing.
So that has happened to me a couple times since, with blood draws or with severe wounds or whatever, and I can tell that it's coming on. So I haven't passed out except for that one time as a kid because I didn't know what was happening and it just happened. But now I know. So I feel the like the cold sweat happening. Mm-hmm. I feel my breathing pick up and like become shallow or whatever, and my mouth and throat get dry or tight. And then I see that like coming in,
yeah.
And I immediately know that I have to go sit down very quickly and just breathe and try to like power through it and breathe. And it usually takes me like 5 or 10 minutes or whatever of that, and then I'm fine. But I've definitely learned that like once that like vignette looking thing starts to come in, it's like, okay, fucking find a seat. Go sit down. You have limited time.
It's very weird.
Really weird, yeah. And it's just like I said, I've dealt with so much. I've had fake blood on me. Doesn't bother me. I've had, some minor procedures done with needles and stuff. That doesn't bother me. Putting an IV in, I can watch an IV go in. But for some reason, if it's a blood draw or if there is blood leaving my body, other than my nose, then I'm just like, I gotta go sit down for a second. I just become the weakest of humans.
Yeah.
It's so weird. I don't know what it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know.
And it's like
I don't know how to describe mine either. It's just it's a psychological thing. I think for myself.
Are you able to watch like scenes in movies where they'll do a close up of someone putting a needle in them?
Yeah, it doesn't bother me in a movie at all.
Yeah.
The only thing that bothers me, like that makes me cringe in a movie, is if there's like something with teeth. If something happens with teeth,
District 9.
Like there's District 9, sort of. The one that comes to mind is an Old Boy. He straps this dude down to the chair, and then he takes the hammer and he puts the teeth around this guy's tooth, and he fucking like twists and like rips the dude's teeth out with the hammer.
Yeah, teeth stuff is kind
that makes
cringy.
me like close my eyes almost. I'm like, oh my god, I get so fucking gnarly.
No, there was a scene in The Martian. Where Matt Damon's character, he has to inject something in his arm, and they do an extreme close-up on like the needle like piercing the skin. And usually I'm the same way as you. Usually like watching needle scenes in movies, that they don't bother me. For some reason, that one did. And I had to like look away for like 3 seconds to like recompose myself because I started feeling that like that brow sweat coming on. I was like, not here, not here, not here.
Ridley Scott, he'll get you every time.
Right. But yeah, teeth stuff is weird.
There's a scene,
gross,
there's
I
a
guess.
moment in the Grindhouse Hobo with a Shotgun trailer where it's toward the end of the trailer and it's all like going crazy and there's like a bunch of super quick cuts, and there's one, I think they go to it twice, and it is a close-up of a mouth that's open, and there's like a pick placed on the teeth and it gets hammered and the teeth get hammered in.
Yes.
That fucking...
Yeah.
That fucks me up.
You can almost feel that, feel the pain there. Yeah. But speaking of District 9, the one thing in that movie, in that same scene, I do believe, in the bathroom, that grosses... it's the fingernail. Yes, that is the thing. More than the teeth, more than anything, it's the fucking fingernails.
That's almost what I think of first when I think of that movie, is him like ripping his fingernails off.
That's just thinking about it now. It's like, oh god, that's so fucking... I can just feel that. Fuck, I don't know why. Oh my gosh. And then, let's see, it's been a few months now. Like back in like November or something like that, I was cleaning my house and I had just stuff kind of scattered everywhere as I was cleaning different rooms and stuff. I had it all, not scattered everywhere, I had it scattered all in my living room, like in piles. As I was cleaning, a specific room somewhere else in the house, I emptied the room out, piled it in the front room. Anyway, I went and I walked through this pile of stuff to reach the other side of the living room, and I stubbed my pinky toe on an object, and the stubbing of the pinky toe hurt enough. That was enough. Like, ouch, that hurt. But the worst part was that I lifted the nail of my pinky toe to the point that it started to bleed. So now, not only is there blood leaving my body, which I already have an issue with, but it's also a peeled back toenail that I have to deal with. And I was just like, double
whammy. Lay down.
Exactly. I was instantly like, I am done cleaning for the next hour. I'm just gonna take a break. So I had to go bandage that really quick, and then I just like collapsed on the sofa. I never passed out, but I was just like, I am nauseous. Just like, I'm done. But yeah, that fucking District 9 scene, like that one. And I'm gonna say that there's another. Was there like a I know there was like the fingernail torture scene in Pan's Labyrinth, but I don't know if there was ever a fingernail shown like getting ripped back. It was just implied off screen, wasn't it?
I can't recall. I don't.
But even that one was cringy. It's
been a while since I watched that, because I think Old Boy is actually very clever cutting as well. I think the most you see
is the pick.
You have a close up of the hammer on the teeth.
Yeah, the hammer,
and there's like a little bit of turning where you can see like blood coming out of like the gums around the tooth, and then it cuts to him and you just see him do the arm movement where he rips and you hear the guy scream. And then it has like close up of like the teeth dropping on the floor, I think.
Another personal experience with fingernails, in my former job, washing, part of the job was I had to wash dishes at a restaurant. We had a bucket that all the silverware would be put in, right? And there was always an attempt to have like the business end of the silverware in the bucket with the handle pointing up so it could soak. But that wasn't always how things happened, right? And you get into a rhythm after doing this so many nights in a row. You're spraying stuff off, scrubbing stuff, reaching in the bucket, grabbing more, repeat. You kind of get going quick, and then you're also not really looking where your hand is going, right? You're just reaching, grabbing, spraying, whatever. One time, I reached in the bucket and caught a fork prong under my thumbnail. And, like, it was enough that, like, I wanted to fucking punch someone in the face just to, like, relieve the pain. It's just like, I don't fucking... I would have punched whoever was near me. That hurt like hell. And I could see under my thumb, like, the bruising, like, where the prong went so deep or whatever. But, again, it wasn't the pain that bothered me. It was just something under my nail. That was just like, oh, God, the nail thing. So, yeah. Interesting.
Yeah, it's unpleasant.
I mean, I guess it's supposed to be, right? That's why they I mean, Guillermo del Toro doesn't smash a face into a sink because it's heartwarming or anything.
Well,
I mean,
he knows that we like it.
I do like that. I love a good sink face smash in a Del Toro film.
Yeah, that's something that we always look forward to, and then it's always a disappointment if that doesn't happen.
I don't know of a movie of his lately though that it hasn't happened in.
Oh, good save. I saw you went with lately.
Yeah, lately, yeah. Well, I think it's because
I remember we saw that Crimson Peak. There was no... Wait, there was one in Crimson Peak.
Yeah.
There wasn't one in... I don't think there was one in The Shape of Water,
Yes,
right?
there was. Yeah, it was a bathroom. Bathroom scene was a sink.
I don't recall that. The only gross thing in that I remember is Michael Shannon ripping his dead fingers off of his hand.
Oh God, yeah.
I don't remember any face stuff.
I think
happening
it was
in that
him.
movie.
It was Michael Shannon who slammed someone's face into the sink, wasn't it?
I don't remember that at all. I don't know.
Because I want to say that was like the only really violent moment of that film in its entirety was that moment. Was some guy had his fucking face smashed in, like or did he slip and fall in the sink? Maybe that's what it was. There was something about the bathroom sink because it was it seemed almost very out of character for that movie. Which wasn't that the movie that both of us had projection issues?
The Shape of Water?
Because I remember mine was like the bottom let's say sixth of the screen was like a strip across the bottom of the screen for the first half of the movie. I think even was like it was almost like it was missing the red LED. So it was like the green and blue LED. So it was like a turquoise strip. You could still see everything, but it was tinted turquoise, and I just thought that was how the movie was starting. Was that we were it was the water in question in the title, and then I realized, oh no, it's going from scene to scene, so this must be a projection issue. But I thought that was also the movie that you had, like it was that theater that you and I went to where you had like troubles all the time with shit, like the projection just stopping randomly, or
I don't remember having issues with The Shape of Water. I saw it at the...
Maybe it's just the one that I only had issues with.
I saw it at an AMC with one of my roommates at the time. And I don't remember there being any issues. The one that I really remember, you're saying separately, like both of us had issues, like individually at different locations, or are you saying together?
No, we didn't watch The Shape of Water together.
Yeah.
No, I thought we just had... We both had issues separately.
I don't think so. I know
maybe
I had
that was
issues
just the one
with...
that I had the issue with. Whenever you usually have the issue.
Yeah. I had an issue with Once Upon a Time in Hollywood at the same AMC. There was one auditorium in there that had discoloration on the screen.
Oh gosh.
On the center left,
like on the actual
frame.
Material.
Yeah.
Yeah.
To the center left of the frame, there would be like a purple hue over a decent portion of the frame.
So that was probably like a bulb issue then, wasn't it?
I don't know.
Because
perhaps I have no idea.
Why would the screen be purple? It's like tinted.
It was like a purple hue over one section
that was
of
the projection the projection issue too.
I saw
still annoying.
Once Upon a Time in Hollywood on that. That was incredibly upsetting.
Yeah. Was that your first time seeing it too?
It was my second time.
Okay. So at least it wasn't ruined the first time. Yeah.
No. There was at the same theater, I saw All the Money in the World, which nobody remembers, and it's not worth remembering. It's the one that Kevin Spacey got replaced with Christopher Plummer.
Oh, it's about Getty.
I think it's a Ridley Scott movie. Yeah.
Yeah.
And it had Mark Wahlberg.
Yeah. I didn't see it, but I know of the movie.
I saw that. It was like the movie was supposed to start.
Kevin Spacey I forgot that was Kevin's. Sorry.
Yeah, he was cast in it, and
That's
then
right.
it was one. Remember, because it was like 2 weeks before it was supposed to come out. They reshot all of his scenes with Christopher Plummer.
That's
and then Christopher Plummer got an Academy Award nomination.
That's right.
Yeah, I saw that, and the showtime was supposed to start at like 10:55 p.m.
Yeah.
And it was me, and it was these two dudes that sat right behind me, and we were the only ones in there. And it was just a black. There weren't even previews, like commercials and advertisements.
Yeah.
The lights were on. It was just a blank screen. It was dead silent, and I'm listening to these two dudes like quietly chatter. And I check my phone, and it's the start time. Nothing's happening. It's still a blank screen. The lights are on.
They forgot about you.
It keeps going. It keeps going, and then it's like 15 minutes after the time it was supposed to start. Lights are on. Screen is blank, and the guys behind me are at the point where they're just like, "Is it going to start?
Is it gonna start?
I don't know."
Let's just wait. 5 more minutes. Let's get.
I remembered. I kept thinking like, "Oh, I should go tell somebody," but I'm afraid if I go tell somebody, they'll start it as soon as I leave, and I'll miss like the first. Yeah. And so I kept waiting, and then I finally got to a point where I was like, "They're not going to fucking start this movie, dude."
Yeah.
And so I got up, and I don't remember if I said anything to them or not. I think I did. I think I was like, "I'm gonna go tell somebody," I guess. And I went out, and I went and found somebody up front, and I was like, "Hey, we're in this auditorium, and this movie was supposed to start like 20 minutes ago, and it's just a blank screen." And they're like, "Oh, I'll let somebody know." And then I went back and sat down, and then it started a few minutes later finally. But yeah, it was way after the start time. There's always something almost every time I go to the theater.
The
Shape of Water might have been the one time that there was nothing.
Maybe that was why I recalled it was because it was the one time you didn't have an issue.
There's either a projection issue or
what was the issue that you and I both had, because we saw it together.
It was Call Me by Your Name.
Yeah, was it like the credits or something, like the captions or something?
The whole the screen was completely formatted incorrectly.
That's what it was, the formatting. Yeah,
the whole bottom of the screen was like cut off, and so that was a double whammy, because the movie also for this screening did not start on time. It was supposed to start, and it didn't, to the point where like the manager came in and was like, "Oh, we're sorry for the delay, like we're getting it up and going, there was like an issue," and they gave us like free passes.
Wasn't that whenever we mentioned that the formatting was off?
This manager was handing everybody like a oh, for your trouble, like here's a free pass for like the next show or something, whatever, like next time you come back. And whenever he got up there, the previews were playing, and we saw that it was formatted incorrectly. And you had brought up like the screen isn't like the aspect ratio is off, or like the screen's formatted incorrectly. And he was just like, "Oh, that's just the previews. Like it'll be right whenever the movie starts." And then it of course wasn't.
Yeah.
And so there's a decent portion of this movie that's in Italian with subtitles, and the subtitles were half cut off the bottom of the screen. I remember that, and so we couldn't read anything anyone was saying.
Yeah, that's right. I've only had to like leave the theater twice to like inform the house crew that something was wrong. And both times were at the same theater, and both times were the same issue. No, wait, it wasn't the same. It wasn't the same theater. It was the same issue both times. It was different theaters. They were both AMC's. But there were two different theaters. But it was the same issue both times, and it was that I was in like a multiplex, and I was in like one of the smaller theaters of the multiplex where there's like two people watching the movie, and that's like the most that's ever seen this movie, the entire run of the theater type thing. So basically the house staff just forgets about you being back there. But both times it was the house lights didn't go off whenever they were supposed to.
Yeah.
So like the first like 5 minutes of the movie, fucking watching it, it's bright as hell. And I can't remember what the first one was, but it was
This just happened to me recently. Go ahead.
It was down there at the AMC in Evansville, and I'm in the fucking back of the building.
That one's usually not bad too. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and that was the first time I'd ever had an issue there. But I'm in like the back of the building, and I have to go like booking it down the fucking hallway, at like this late showing, trying to find someone like, "Hey, fuck, the house lights in 17 are on," and because the movie's playing, I don't want to miss the movie because I know they're not going to restart it, so I'm trying to like do this really fast, and man, that sucked. I was sitting there like because there's always usually that time during like the second series of trailers, I guess. There's like the first series of trailers with like that the lights are up, and then they do like the theater's logo or like the brand's logo or whatever, like what's her face comes out and tells us how emotional theaters are, and then the lights go down at that point in time, and then they show more trailers, right?
Yeah.
So usually by the second set of trailers, that like these are close to the conditions I'm going to be in. The house lights might go down a little bit more, but this is pretty much it. It was still full blast during those, and I'm sitting there thinking the whole time, like they're just going to stay on the whole time, aren't they?
Yeah.
And I was like, I'm going to wait, because if I get up now and go tell somebody and they just tell me, oh, that's how it's going to happen, and then they'll go down, I'm going to feel like an asshole. So I'm just going to wait. And then I waited, and then the movie started, and I was just like, God damn it, they're still on. So I got up from the top row, ran past two people who were like, what the fuck is this guy doing? The movie's just now starting. And then I had to run down this hallway and be like, hey, down here, fucking in Z44, the tiny ass theater in the back, you forgot the house lights. Yeah, and then and of course they took their time to walk back to the theater, and I'd already been back in 10 minutes in, and finally Dwayne or Zach or whatever's fucking douchey teen finally comes up and turns the lights off. Yeah. So. Yeah,
this happened. It wasn't the last time I've been to the theater, but it was one of the last couple times we went to see a movie. I think it was right at the beginning of the year or at the end of 2024. We went and saw Nosferatu.
Oh, okay. So
and we saw
a movie that you want the lights to be on for, right?
Right, yeah. Exactly. We saw it in the Cinemark XD, which is essentially their
extra dick
miniature, their miniature IMAX version, but it's like the bigger screen, the louder speakers and whatnot. Mm-hmm. And it was the same thing where the previews were playing and the lights were on, and I was kind of thinking, oh no, but this is like a packed ass house. They'll turn it out. I could not see the cold open at all.
Oh my gosh.
I have no idea what happened in the cold open. I don't know what you couldn't see, because obviously the movie is very dark, and these bright lights are on in there. And there was they didn't even do their thing that they do at the Cinemark, where in that screen, that XD room, where it has the big colorful scenery and nature, and it does the everything is better when it's bigger and all this
when
shit.
It's XD, XD all over your face. Yeah,
and it splatters at the screen. Yeah. They always do that before the movie starts. They didn't do that. There was no logos. There was nothing. It was just it was a preview, and then the cold open of Nosferatu, and it started, and I remember being like, why would they be showing a preview for Nosferatu when we're here to see Nosferatu?
We're already here. Yeah.
And then whenever the title came up, I was like, oh, the movie has started. But everybody in there was still kind of chatting, and the lights were still on, and so nobody knew.
Yeah.
And then after the title came up, everybody
was like, oh,
realized, and then they went quiet. And then the lights stayed on for 2 more minutes, and then they finally went out. And so for the first 5 minutes of Nosferatu, I have no idea what the fuck was going on, because I couldn't see it.
Yeah. So and the weird thing is that all that stuff is timed, so it's all automated. There's not actually a person who turns the lights, or shouldn't be a person who turns the lights down. So that would be your first sign, if anything. Branding wise, that doesn't happen, immediately be on the edge of your seat to go run dash somewhere to tell someone something's off. Because it's either going to be the lights, or the actual picture itself won't start, or something.
Maybe I would have, but there's no way to know, because it's just a preview ends and then the movie was just playing.
Well, right. Yeah. And you didn't even know it was the movie. You thought it was a preview for the movie. Well, and in my case too, the whole branding,
there weren't even logos for studios or anything. It was just all of a sudden
the
movie was just playing, and I was like, what the fuck?
Something happened in the automation.
But
but even in my case, that's not true either, because the AMC branding moment happened. It just happened under normal lighting. So last question, I'm gonna go get another drink.
Okay.
Would you pay extra? So your local cinema, whatever choice, either chain or mom and pop, right? It seems like all of them, with the chains being the worst, all of them play an enormous amount of trailers. before most showings, unless it's it's like a special feature or whatever, like a special presentation. But even those are rare. But it's like, fucking AMC plays like almost 40 minutes of fucking previews after the time is supposed to start. Would you pay more at the same theater if they offered a separate screening that had fewer to no trailers?
Oh, so you're saying in addition to, like, they still have the other one?
Yes.
But this is like a separate, like in addition to, there's still the other one.
They're still offering the normal ticket priced showing of this.
Where it's just like the start time and like be in your seat. That's when the movie is starting to play.
$5 more dollars and the movie will start. No other trailers. $5 more dollars and it starts right now, right here. Okay.
Absolutely.
I don't think you're alone in that. And I also, I don't know if that's a bad thing. Whenever I first had that idea, it was because something was raised on Twitter about movie theaters, actual theater owners, complaining about the amount of trailers that they have to show, and people being upset. And I sort of jokingly mentioned, I was like, how long before theaters start offering like an ad-free tier to their ticket price? And I said that in a way that was like, oh god, they're going to try to nickel and dime us even more. But then the more I thought about it, I was like, I would think I'd be okay with that. I think if you charge me like $5 or less, I don't want to pay too much more for trail. Otherwise, I'll just continually come late and then whatever, or not feel pressured to get into the theater at a certain time. But $5 or less, I think I would do it. I think I would pay that ticket price to see, because one, most of the time I want to skip the trailers anyway because I don't want to be spoiled.
I've read a whole article about this recently, like within the last few months.
Maybe I wrote it.
Yeah.
But like, most of the time I don't want to see trailers anyway because I don't want to have anything spoiled for me. And then also, again, I planned out my evening to start at 9:30 or 7:45 or 8:20 or whatever it is, not 45 minutes after that plus the runtime of the film. So if I could pay $5 more to watch the film I already want to watch, not have a bunch of bullshit before it, and it starts exactly whenever it says it's going to start, I might actually be for that. And theaters, because part of the reason that a theater has to show trailers is contractual based. They have to show these things. Otherwise, the cost of showing the movie would be outrageous. It's basically a marketing fee that helps bring the cost of the distribution down. So they can't just get rid of trailers. That's never going to happen. But I can't imagine it being against any rules if they had that option in other, screens, but then at certain times of day, maybe they only did this, like during the week or whatever, whenever it was a little bit slower than normal, right? As far as attendance goes. And they still offer the other one at the cheaper regular ticket price, but then in addition to, on another screen, they had this one that was, again, like almost like the ad-free subscription of any kind of streaming service where you're literally paying more not to watch trailers. And like, just fucking give me that. I think, and then they get to keep that money because they still give back the regular portion of the percentage of sales to the distributor, and they, as a showcaser, they just keep the little extra scratch and make some more money. How long until AMC or Cinemark starts to do that? 2 months?
I think they'll probably go under before that happens.
Maybe,
I don't know.
Yeah. I mean, again, assuming that production companies allow that, or distribution companies allow that, I guess.
Oh yeah, I'm sure.
Because I'm gonna say that they're gonna want that part of that pie as well.
Yeah, this article was a little bit different in that it was just talking about whether it was talking about kind of like the efficacy of movie theaters posting the movie start time, like posting the regular start time and then the actual start time for the movie.
See.
Because
being more honest about when it's going to actually start.
The article kind of posted like a everybody would be into that. You don't want to fucking like see this stuff. You just want to go and see the movie. They can list the time that the movie starts, and you can just make sure you're there for the start time of the movie if you don't want to see this other stuff. Yeah. And it basically just went into how like why that isn't a good idea, because essentially advertisers would like not want to advertise on in those movie theaters anymore, because they know people are going to just skip the the advertisements and then just go to the movie. Yeah.
Or the worst part is that everyone shows up 5 minutes before fucking actual showtime, and then it's just a madhouse trying to get in and seated. I mean, there is something nice about, showing up 10, 15, 20 minutes early sometimes before the start time of the show, and finding your seat and having a snack or chatting or kind of decompressing from whatever method of transportation you took to get to the theater, and then kind of getting into that zone. And in the good old days, it was just a blank screen and they played music, and that was it. It was just the lights were on, the screen was blank, and they played music that you didn't care about. And then you walked in, and then a voice came over and was like, "The movie's about to. Thank you for attending. Blah 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 blah. The movie, whatever. Enjoy your feature presentation." And then you watched like 3 trailers, and that was it, and it was great. So there was that transition time, but I worry that. If there was what the article is stating about showcasing or revealing the actual time of the start of the movie, that everyone's going to show up during like the last couple trailers, and it's just going to be fucking pandemonium to the point that everyone's going to end up just showing up 20 minutes early anyway, just to beat the crowd and get a good seat and whatever.
And then still have to watch Maria Menounos with a TikToker doing trivia.
And still talk. And that's not exactly that's what I'm saying. It's like it's still just going to be that. And so I think the ultimate solution is you offer, again, you keep that same ticket price version, and especially during like your busy time periods. There's no reason to offer, that special screening or whatever, right? You just offer the normal screening. During your Friday nights and Saturday nights, but like your Monday through Wednesday nights or whatever, or even possibly even like the matinees, especially for films that aren't like number one in the box office type films. For $3 more, you can come at 11:45 in the afternoon, and the fucking movie starts at 11:45 in the afternoon. You don't see a one trailer, and also too, if you fucking get there at 11:45 and then you're walking to your seat and it's 11:47, that's on you that you're late. The movie starts now. That's it. I think that would be a great thing to have, and then like for like your your A-list members or your stubs or whatever the fucking club members are for these different places. You could also offer, a discount on those ones too. Those trailerless films showings. You could offer a discount on those, or you get one free a week or whatever type thing. But something like, I just think that it's weird. I mean, there must be a reason. I'm not that much of a genius. I'm not even a genius, let alone that much. But there has to be a reason why that hasn't been implemented yet.
Yeah, I'm sure. The best that I've experienced is at somewhat local indie cinema, the Nightlight over in Akron, which I adore, where they have one of the employees pretty much at the start time will come out and they'll do like a brief introduction, which I really love personally.
I love that too. Yes.
And they'll do like a brief introduction for the film, and then they'll go off. We'll get usually maybe 3, maybe 4 trailers, and they're just like coming soon at the Nightlight. Like the movies that are coming up in the next couple weeks, they show a few trailers of those, and then the movie starts.
That's how it
it's
used
great.
to be. It was never
perfect.
It was never trailers for shit that never shows up to this theater. It was only ever trailers for things that are coming to this theater.
That's what bothered me whenever we'd be freaking in like Vincennes and we'd get the trailer for fucking like Swiss Army Man, and you're like, okay, yeah, that's gonna fucking play here.
Yeah.
This fucking small ass theater.
Yeah. No, so my one place that I love to go, and it really only ever happens whenever they do the film versions, but it's the fucking IMAX with the 70 millimeter showings, and they come out and they tell you, like, it's on the ticket, it's everywhere that you purchase. There are no trailers. It's just going to start. And then you're in your seat, and again, they just have like a slideshow playing on the screen. There's some light music in the background. People are filing in or whatever. And then like the manager or somebody comes out and says, "Welcome, thanks for coming. The movie you're about to see," talks a little bit about it, and then that's it. And the lights go down, and fucking the movie starts. Not a one trailer. Like you might get like the IMAX logo. If the filmmaker has been told to put, like if it was an IMAX sponsored film or whatever, but otherwise I've gone to ones where it was just fucking boom movie, that's it. Like you're in it, you're going right, someone pushed play and that was it. Yeah, like the 70 millimeter version of 2001: A Space Odyssey was basically that, where it was just like we're starting, here we go, and you're in in the movie. I love that.
Yeah, me too.
Okay, I'm gonna go get a drink, and I think we should start.
Yeah. Well, if you want more of this, everybody,
rewind to me being like, it's not gonna be fucking 2 hours long.
Yeah, exactly. Well,
I hope you got your spring cleaning done, or your laundry for the day, or if you were mowing the yard, or if you just don't like to go grocery shopping without having something in your ears.
Yeah.
You're welcome. And also, if it takes you 2 hours to grocery shop, then
you need to figure out a better system.
Yeah. We're going to judge you now.
All right. Well, tune in Monday for the regular episode, I guess.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Yeah. Well, bye.
Outro. Do we stop this? Okay.